Okay, so I hate when the camera does this, y'all. I'm gonna set this up. Oh, it says my orientation is not allowed to. Okay. This out the way. Now I forget my stand. Okay, it's no big deal. I'll just hold it. I hope everybody can hear me. Hello, everybody. So I'm gonna wait for a few people to come in, and I'm gonna get my stand together. Put a check in the chat if you can hear me. This thing's not working. Okay, there it is. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so I got that set up. Put a here or put something in the chat if you can hear me. Hopefully everybody can hear me. And we're gonna start in just a bit. So it's gonna be an interesting night. So I'm gonna be talking a little bit about how when I saw a bit of like a burnout. So more like not burnout. Cause you don't want to burn yourself out to a point where it might be some moments you need to move, but you can't because you burn out, overworked, tired, things are like that. And I also want to cover what structure actually looks like in a solo no business. Also, um, why it can become overwhelming and how you can fix it. So, hello, hello, hello. So, if you're a nail tech, this is for you. But yes. So we're gonna start. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right, guys. So if you're not here to talk about the nail business, go ahead and check off, please, because that's kind of like a disturbance for everybody else who's actually here trying to learn. Okay. It's about nail biz, as the title states, guys. If we don't get that corrected, I'll help you out there. Done it before. But hello, everybody. My name is Q, y'all. If y'all don't know. So again, this is for nail techs who are tired of just surviving and ready to, just take control of your nail career. That's what it's for. I probably should have went a little earlier. I don't know what time zone you guys are on, but I am in the Central Standard Time. So okay, so I've, did a little allowed a few people to come in. So let's go ahead and dive into it. And then I'll also be sharing something towards the end that'll kind of help you navigate through things like that in situations of burnout or just not knowing what you need to do and things like that when it comes to being a nail tech solo in the nail industry. So there was a time where, all right, guys, please, if you're not here for the nail biz, please go ahead and check out. Thank you, because I will block and report. Thank you. So I'm gonna go ahead and press forward though. There was a time where I thought about it was just basically a moment where I knew that I needed to kind of pivot and just do something different. And to be honest, I was really burnt out. I felt like I was burnt out but didn't realize it for a little bit. I was overworked, literally, and I was overwhelmed. Sometimes when you are dealing with so many individuals or just recurring like nail services, it can burn you out, it can overwhelm you, and then let's not even mention everything else that you have in life. Like you have your personal things, you might have kids, you might have a family, and just anything else that you have to keep up with in life, yet alone yourself. And to be honest, especially when you've gotten to a point where you're booked and busy, really just hello. You get to a point where you really just kind of forget about yourself. And that's a quick way to get in burnout mode. So, and then the one thing that I would ask myself is like, okay, is there more? Like, I know there's more than this. Like, and then that's just kind of when things kind of like switched up for me. And I kind of came into a realization where I knew I needed to do something different. I knew I needed to have more of like a structure. I've had my moments where I was kind of forced into having a policy. That's one. Also, it was just real moments where things started getting real. It wasn't because when I first started, I was more like it felt like play or something like that. But things started getting serious. There's moments where it was like, okay, I have to charge deposits, and I'm going to kind of touch on basis why. There was something that I had wrote down. It was a moment where I just I was so exhausted that I'll tell you one moment. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Let's just say I overworked myself to the point where I had to go to it was taking a toll on me mentally, emotionally. Again, when you're overworking yourself, it can cause things like that. Not to mention me doing so many services at one point, only to realizing like, okay, why is these numbers not adding up? Tell me why I forgot to change my sales prices back to the regular pricing. Just things like that. And to be honest, that can burn you out because I really I was shorthanded myself, not realizing, and that's where policies and things like that come in play. Like you can't create sales prices and not ever change your sales prices back. And it's sad. I forgot to change my sales prices back to my normal prices for such a long time that I almost didn't remember my regular price. But I'm going to say something here. These are learning experiences. These are learning curves that put you in the line that you need to be put in. Okay. So, and to be honest, I'm really good at doing nails. And that's not me tooting my own horn, but in all honesty, I just wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. That's the big key. Like, you have to pay attention. And that's another thing. You doing everything on the back end, and that can happen. That's why it's important to document things. That's a part of having a structure. So let's dive into three three Nail Biz lessons. Let me give y'all three things I wish I knew before the burnout. And I've kind of just shared quite a bit right there, to be honest. And I'm gonna say this one thing. For the first part, you cannot build a luxury life with being in burnout mode. You just can't. You can't. It kind of, when you're in burnout, it's not really much you can do, especially it's kind of like chasing your own tail. It's kind of like you kind of be in a stagnant position. If you, that's one sign right there. When you're so stagnant that you're like, okay, and you have done like, so you feel like you've done so much work, like even on like factually, you've done so much work and you're not seeing the results. That's another sign. That's a sign of burnout. That's a sign that you might be overworking yourself. And next, you need systems in place. And this was something that I really wish I would have known, but I didn't know. Like, I came into this all alone. My Some of my closest supporters, they don't know anything about this. They've never done this before. Nobody has came as far as I came, or I've come and still coming. And the professionals started out, they were in the cyberspace industry, but they weren't in the nail industry specifically. So I got some really decent advice, but it was only to a certain extent, if that makes any sense. Like, I got information from managers, but in it, I feel like it wasn't till like maybe a year in, I realized, okay, wait a minute. I realized I needed a mentor in the nail industry. And I was like, okay. And I finally invested in a nail mentor, and it was a game changer. But this was before I learned about burnout mode. So, just tag along with me here. And this is why I started learning to have more of that system and, things of that sort. And things like marketing plans. I'm kind of dive into like marketing. I'll say this one thing. Marketing is not just, oh, posting your work. That's not marketing. That's just posting your work. You have to, it's marketing is where you actually have a something where it engages people, and you say, I'll use this as an example. Okay, marketing was if you saw the YouTube short that I put out, that's marketing. For this live, that's marketing. So just kind of keep that in mind. But having plans, creating ahead of time, creating a plan. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes, depending on how things go within your nail business, things are going to change. Like, just this week alone, I've had three things change. To be honest, I found out some very exciting news. Just this past Monday, I'm talking about Up On Wake Up, which is very exciting. I'm going to be announcing on here very soon. And that alone changed my marketing plan for this week. But that's why it's important to have a system in place. Another thing that's gonna help your system is to schedule your stuff. Go ahead and post it ahead of time and schedule it. So let's move on to the third one. So the first one was you're not able to build on burnout. You're either gonna stay stagnant or you're gonna feel like you're spinning your wheels. The second was needing systems. And let's go to the third one. The third one is your mindset. This is a big one. This is actually the biggest one. So to say the best one for last, in other words. So you can have all the talent in the world and still not be seeing what you feel like you, especially it starts with you first. I'll put that out there. You can have the talent and still struggle. You can, if you're not believing that, I'll use this as an example. There's people, they say, I'm the best so and so, so and so that you'll ever meet. So I'll use this. I know somebody who is in the service industry and they always say, I'm the best at what I do. If you don't believe at least somewhere, something, just basically believe in yourself, just starting with that alone, you have something to truly work on. That's a part of your mindset. And that's the biggest one. What is it like your top thought that you think about yourself on a daily basis when it comes to your business? Because you're a substantial piece to your business, whether you realize or not. So, and I'm going to show two things when it comes to the mindset that really has helped me. Just two things. There's tons of things that has helped me along the way. And I feel like the mindset definitely comes with growth, maturity, and a lot of other things. But it's a book that I read. This the reading books is big on my side. It's really big when it comes to you and business in general. This book kind of changed the game for me. I'm going to be honest, and I know people are probably going to think like, what in the world does this book have to do with the Nail Biz? You don't have to read it. Just if you see any books that you feel that would help you in your situation, yours might not specifically be what I'm going to share with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just kind of take that into note. But this right here, this can help anybody in any business. So the title is called Customers for Life. Basically, what this book talks about is how you can kind of reach to customers and not, you know, plaster yourself in the making, and what the subtitle says is how to tame that one time buyer into a lifetime customer. It's a game changer. It basically teaches you again. This is pretty much when I started reading this book, it's kind of where I kind of started building more of a structure. It helped me to create a system that was a little bit more reliable. And when you could kind of see, like when I switched my nail suites, you could see the difference how it was the year prior to, and it just the aesthetic went with the way that I serve clients. Okay. The next book that I read, again, y'all can go check these books out if I want. You don't have to. Now, one thing that I know for a fact that's big in this industry is people pleasing. It's huge. And I use an example. I see this a lot and it has to stop. Like this plays a big role in the mindset. Y'all ready? The example is I see this a lot. I see this happen a lot. I see and it literally kind of sparks up something where it's called desperation. And I see where people that post a beautiful essay to crystals, hand art, and just so many more beautiful things, right? And then they'll say, "Hey, I'm taking open. I have a few spots open, $25." And I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what?" And I'll use this and look. If I showed y'all how I did my prices, and this, to be honest, I might actually. put this out there just to help other people so they will never ever be in a position where they feel like they don't have enough or they're getting shorthanded. You should never place yourself in a position where you're getting a shorthanded stick. And that's a big sign of people pleasing. That's a big sign. Another example is when a person, you can tell a person is coming in and they're expecting something for nothing and you just go with it. And no, you should be charging more, but you don't. Or no, you should kind of speak up and you don't. Another one is when somebody comes in 10, 15 minutes, like that needs to be addressed and nipped in the bud. Especially if you're somebody like me who has back to backs when I'm working, that's not gonna fly. Cause that really will send you over into depending on how close them schedules are. And I'm so discreet and calm with it, so you would never really just know. But I still mention like, hey, if you could, especially if I don't let it be a habit. Usually it doesn't happen too much, but that's something that should be talked about and dealt with. But this book right here, I'm gonna be honest, it's called "Stop People Pleasing and Find Your Power." This book, just the first like 1 to like 5 or 6 pages hit me it hit me so hard. I was like, okay. And it's so funny because when I started reading it, it was a time where I was literally working on, I was already in the midst of working on not people pleasing. That's big, y'all, especially in this industry. You can't be showing up like that. I promise you can't because people will take advantage. They will. Like for me, for you, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. For a while, I wouldn't charge deposits. I wouldn't. It was one time I had um literally four no call no shows in like mm, the course of 2 days. I was like, oh no. Mm-mm. I immediately went to my booking app and turned on deposits and updated my policy. Anytime something changes or you change something, you should be updating your policy. No questions asked, okay? So let's get into it. Let's kind of talk about, that's enough about me and explaining. Again, if y'all want to learn about these books, I'll probably just post them in the description. You can check it out of my replay. Now, everything that I've talked about, it really leads over into what I created. It's called the Survival Nail Tech Guide. It's everything that I really wish I had, especially when I started out, and I really wish it was handed to me when I felt like things were just kind of all over the place. And it's not just about nails, it's about your mindset, your money, your structure, and how to, really feel like a boss, okay? And so some things that are kind of inspired is like business mindset, how to kind of deal with that, price clarity, boundaries, and systems, tips to attract better clients. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. There was one time I had a client, she was so irate. It was, it got really bad. Not like physically, because like I had to stand, it was one of the moments again, I was working on people pleasing at that time. And I had to stand my ground. She came in originally asking for a college change. She finessed so bad. I told her to send me a picture for a consultation. She sent me a picture because my rules are I don't do work over other people's right. Simply because one reason, there's multiple reasons, but one reason is because it's not like the way things used to be where everybody has pretty much the same brand of product. Things aren't like that anymore. All the products are not the same, and all nail products are not universal. And I guess she didn't like the fact she really wanted a new set, so she tried to finish. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So she only showed me one hand, and I kind of knew that it was something else in behind the scene because I was like, show me one hand. People always show both hands. They'll send that's why they take a picture of like two hands or they'll send me like two pictures with both hands or something like that, right? So she came missing like three fingers and I was like, so this is gonna be more than $1 change. And she's like, well, can I just get a full set? And I was like, let me check and make sure, of course I checked, my schedule and checked to make that everything was cool. So moving on, I started her fresh set, not to mention she popped those bad boys out because she did not want to pay for a sock off. And I looked and I was like, okay. I was thinking like if there's any damage and I have to turn you down, I will, but it didn't. So we just proceeded forward. Long story short, she told me to freestyle. I'm pausing because she kept tell me how to do this. And I was like, okay, are we doing freestyle or are we doing how it's your per year request? And then she comes telling me, and this was probably the biggest red flag of it. Oh, you can't listen to me. I'm not gonna reveal too much, but she's like, you can't listen to me. I can't make up my mind. And I was like, at that moment, I knew I was ready to kind of get her out of there. So we finished. Then she said she wanted things done to her toes. She wanted a cut down. Not to mention on her nails, she had wanted a lot of crystals on all nails. And she tried to have me change things like 3, 4 times. And I finally told her, I was like, look, I'm not going to keep changing, or it's going to be a charge. She cut that out. I got to her feet. She was like, oh, well, all these crystals on her feet. I looked her straight in her face and I said, I am not putting crystals on your feet. Her acrylic on her feet was lifting, and I told her that would be pointless. I fixed her feet the best I could with what was there. And to be honest, most texts don't even work again. They wouldn't even did what I did. I was actually so I gave her a price and she flipped out. I stood 10 toes down. I got paid. Long story short, I didn't fold at all. She put all kind of threats out there. I still didn't fold because I was not in the wrong. So that's pretty much the whole idea here. Okay. So that's kind of where the tips on attracting better clients kind of comes in at because I just any and everybody walking through your place of business, however, wherever, you know. But I worked on keeping it as simple as possible and just something that really works. But if I'm gonna be honest, if this touched you or made you say that's me, go grab this guide. Grab it tonight. It's already in the description. I can also let me put it in the good old chat. But yes, if you felt like this was for you, go ahead and check it out. And then I'm gonna put the link in the chat as well. Again, this is the Nail Tech Survival Guide. So, oops. So it helps you in so many areas. It's just basically help you with the mindset, structure, and things of that sort. So right now I'm just kind of, I don't know why it's not. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way. Work with me, work with me. Again, you can check the description. I'm gonna put it in the chat too, but so give me one hot quick second so I can put it in the chat. And then after I do this, I'm gonna ask some questions and we can kind of chat. There it is. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know why it's not letting me put it in the chat, guys. So please go ahead and check out the description. Now, YouTube has been really switcherooing. I'm gonna start do it like this, and I'll see if it'll. No, it's not gonna work like that. I don't know why it won't allow me to put it in the chat, but it's definitely in the description. So if you click on the description area, it's there. So right now, it's half off. So if I were to take advantage of that, it is. I'm gonna use my personal. Maybe it'll work like this. I try to like put the description in with my personal um YouTube. Okay, there it goes. So there it is in the chat. I don't know if y'all can see it. What did it just say? I don't think it's allowing me to do it, y'all. This really sucks. Okay, so I'm just gonna guide you to check the description. I'm gonna get back on the price. So right now it's currently half off as regular $20, and right now it's currently $9.97. So if I be able to take advantage of that, because I'm not going to keep it at that price. Because I'm gonna leave it at that price for the rest of tonight up until the morning, and then it'll go back to regular price. Now I'm doing it like this because I am going to be creating another part. So take advantage. Now let's go ahead. If y'all don't see the link in the chat, please go ahead and check the description. Also, you can check the bio and scroll to the part where it says Nail Tech Survivor Guide. So you have multiple places where you can go and pull it up. But I'm going to move on to the QA portion. So, first question is, where are you at in your nail journey right now? Where are you right now in your nail journey? Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, good. So the first question is, where are you at in your nail journey? And if you're watching the replay of this, go ahead and put it in the comment section. Where are you at in your nail journey? I'll wait a few seconds. I have no idea. I can probably put a poll and maybe I can ask that. Let me type it in. And then we'll just go at it like this. Okay. Almost complete here on the poll. I'm just gonna put this poll up if y'all don't want to type out. And I'm starting a poll right now. There's a poll. Go check it out. Put your vote in and we'll go at it like that. And then for the next question, I'll just create another poll. Again, if you are catching the replay, go ahead and put in the comment, where are you at currently in your nail journey at the moment? But I just put up a poll if y'all can. And then I'll start another poll. Let me see if it'll let me. Yeah. So in a minute, if you see the poll, go ahead and answer the question, or you can just simply put your answer in the chat. Where are you currently in your nail journey? Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. So I'm going to move forward to the next question. The next question is, what's your biggest struggle right now? I'll use an example. Is it pricing? Is it clients? Is it feeling burnt out? Or just are you feeling lost? But what is your biggest struggle right now? And I'll go ahead and create the poll. But if you're catching the replay, okay, it says there's already an ongoing poll, so I can't do more than one. So I'll probably end this poll in about another few seconds to a minute or so. Again, if you're interested in the nail tech survival guide, go ahead and check out the link in the description or go check out the bio. So I'm going to end this poll now, and I'm going to start a new one. The next one is, what's your biggest struggle right now? And I'm going to be 100% honest. If you don't have like a game plan or anything, it's so easy to get stressed out or burned out. And I'm gonna give you a key aspect. You don't want to be in that hustle bustle 24/7. That is not fun. You're supposed to be able to enjoy it. When you're always hustling and things like that, it just takes away the enjoyment. Most people they come into doing nails because they truly enjoy it. But sometimes I'm gonna be honest, it can be the people closest to you that can really wreak havoc because some people be so inconsiderate and they don't realize it, or have um, you could be dealing with a bunch of okay, y'all can still hear me. Okay, good. Because sometimes when you get a call, it'll completely turn out it'll completely turn out the volume. I hate that. But anyways, you can be dealing with clients who just making it so difficult, and it just really drives out the passion. And that's why it's important to have a structure. So you want to create your structure solid to where even difficult people don't take away your passion and how you truly feel about it. It's supposed to, especially if this is something that you love, it's supposed to bring in some sort of fulfillment, right? So just kind of keep that in mind and heart. Like that's important. And when you constantly giving, and you don't feel like you're getting anything back, that's another form of people pleasing. And not only that, that can drain the crap out of you, and it can put you in burnout mode real quick. And in the Netflix survival guide, it talks about how you can come up out of that. It's important. So I see a lot of people, they don't even know they can, you don't have to deal with a client. I feel like people don't realize that they can let a client know that in a professional way that they're not for them. I feel like in my situations, it was so obvious. I really didn't have to have that conversation because it was so obvious. It was like the silence was enough. I intentionally didn't reach out for another book, and I didn't have to reach out because they knew. And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of clients, they know when they've done something so out of the ordinary that they know they shouldn't reach back out. They know it. So, but just always keep in mind you have that choice. You do not have to deal with somebody out of obligation or link. Because when you close that door, you open up space and room for somebody 10 times better. There's people out there who happily want to respect what you have going and respect, your prices. They just really want to come there and enjoy it because they might have had a hard day and they're coming to pamper themselves. And you might be that space for them where they can truly enjoy that. I have clients, when people call their phone, they'll answer that, oh, yeah, I'm getting my nails done, so I will call you back. And when they get off, they say, this is my time and this is my space where I'm enjoying myself. So that's somebody who you want. You want somebody who respects you. You want somebody who wants to pay. You want somebody who loves what you do as well as, and they see that you love what you do. You want somebody that y'all get along, y'all click. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things to look at. And, just kind of me putting that out there that kind of helps you create, even begin to start your structure. Okay. So again, y'all, if you are interested in the nail tech survival guide, if you feel like you just so burnt out, you don't know which way to turn, know where to look, feel lost, feel overwhelmed, you feel stressed, you're struggling with clients, getting clients. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If you really, for those who have an issue with getting clients, if you really want clients, you'll get clients. Um, there are some ways of getting clients where they come in like this. I'm walking proof. I'm walking testimony of that. A lot of people think when I'm at my suite, not with anybody think, oh, she's heard her clients. No, I'm not. I have this day capped off because I might be dealing with YouTube. I might be dealing with I might be recording, which is a surprise that I'll be getting announced very soon. If y'all haven't kind of noticed on the channel. It, but people think what they think. Because if you focus too much outside of your structure, and that's why it's important to have a structure. Because I'm gonna put it like this: if you don't have a structure, you kind of just stand on everything, and you just take anything in, and it just causes more confusion. But yes, if you currently feeling burnt out, again, don't know where to turn, don't know what to do, check out the description area and go get the nail tech survivor guide. Again, it's currently basically $10. Is $9.97. It's half off. Take advantage of that. It will not be like that tomorrow. So again, just keep in mind there will be another part. And just know that this will be you walking into something fresh and new that could truly possibly help you in something. That'll help you at least get a breath of fresh air. So take advantage of that, guys. So right now the poll again, if you haven't heard, the first question was, It won't let me click off of it. But okay, let me just go at it like this. So the first question was, where are you at in your nail journey right now? And then the second question is, what's your biggest struggle right now? So I'm gonna end that poll for what's your biggest struggle. If you guys in the replay, put that guys, put that in the comment section. It's gonna be the comment section for those who come along. So just kind of want to put that out there. So I'm going to start wrapping it up. But yes, I remember. Yeah, I've had some experiences, guys. You know, that's why I'm here to help. I'm not perfect. Like I said, for a while, I didn't charge deposits. I didn't feel like I needed to. It just didn't feel necessary. Like, but I realized, like, I literally, okay, there was a time I remember. There was a client, it was her first time she booked. She was like, I was really shocked you don't have a deposit. A lot of people, they look at it, they don't look at it like, oh, okay. And still respect it. They look at it, oh, if you don't charge deposit or they don't charge the deposit, they look at it as a form of, oh, I get to run over this business. And they'll intentionally disrespect, like, I don't know how to put it. They'll like book the next time and intentionally do a no show, or just do some off the chain stuff that have you second guessing, like, on why you should have a deposit. And I've even heard it, like, if you pay attention to the tone of people's voices, that client was like, well, that person, because that's not a client. A client who is somebody who respects what you have going on and they come back. But this is somebody who came, I guess through passing, I don't know. And she was like, oh, you don't charge deposits? Okay, bet. And I'm like, that was a big red flag. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But I'm telling you, you gotta have thick skin in this business. So again, go check out the notes say survivor guide. I'm pretty sure at least a few of you guys are on here or that's come across here or gonna come across here. And you're sitting in one of those modes, feeling burnt the heck out. I'll use another example. When on my first year, like going professional, yeah, I had my own suite and still do. By the time, like the first week that I had when I first came in, and then I was working in two other salons. Talk about burnout. That was a physical, mental, and emotional burnout because one salon, I was literally seeing like performing on 10 plus people. Then I would go to the other salon a few days out of the week and work on maybe like 3 to 4 people. And those were not just simple sets, they were all designs. And to top it off, I go to my own suite, and of course, people want the extravagant stuff. Just think about that throughout the entire week. And I'm gonna be honest, at that time I was niggas like the money was coming in, but I was burnt out. I was so burnt out I couldn't even pay attention to it. Cause I was so burnt out. Like, that's not fun. Like, and I had to sit there, I'm like, dang, what's the point of doing all this if I can't enjoy it? You know? And that's really something to kind of sit back and I was like, well, let me go out and start having fun. Start having a lot of fun, but that's another thing. But it's just one of the moments you gonna work hard, play hard. But that's another thing where it kind of describes in the nail tech survival. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I really enjoyed having y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Again, if you're on a replay, check out that description. I might or might not put these books in there. Okay. Yeah, it's that time now. It's cute with this next to you. As you can see, I'm comfy and but it gets real and raw here, okay? So till next time, y'all. Till next time.